Okay. That was a perfect opening. Good morning. All right. We're playing. Well, I thought we were going to play Mask of the Rose because I was really enjoying that last time. But I was hoping that I could pick right up where I left off. But I lost some times. I don't really know how the saving mechanics work for this game, and I must have left when I didn't save, or I should have saved before I don't know. But I think I left some time because I'm not where I was when I left. So I'm a little confused, but we'll just pick up, I guess. Because I was talking to Khajiit, I believe, but now I'm back here and I don't really know. It's like before I went to go see him. So, yeah, and I don't see another save file. So I guess I should have, or perhaps it's just an autosave where you can't manually save. I actually don't know. But I can tell you one thing, apparently it didn't save. So I kind of remember the conversation I had with him, but maybe it'll be different. Maybe we'll get a second chance of asking him different questions. I haven't played this since the last time I played it, which was 2 weeks ago. But the premiere for episode 2 is going live in an hour and a half. Yes, in an hour and a half. So at 8 a.m. PST time. So, just like I said last time, I'm up. I don't have anything to do because I have to check to make sure that the video goes up and, works and stuff. So I might as well stream, I guess. A non-streamer talking about streaming. Yeah. So I still don't quite know what I'm doing, but I do know how to play games. So I think that's like half of the requirement, at least. Okay, let me remember what I was doing. And you're gonna hear clicks probably because I could not use my mouth, but because I could use my keyboard, actually, let me actually use my keyboard instead of my mouse so you don't hear so many clicks because that can get annoying. Well, no. It's just easier. We're not going to worry about it. We'll use both. Okay, so what was I doing? Head outside. Thrall Street. Okay. Harjeet. What am I think I've been calling him Hajit, which because I thought the R was an H, but his name's Harjeet. Oh, right. We had to choose the right outfit, but he didn't seem to like any of the outfits I chose, so this is all stuff we already. Yeah. It's telling me that he's on duty, etc. I should change. I'm satisfied with this. I cannot remember the outfit I wore. I just can't. I don't know. What was it? I think they told me to change the badge to the lapel or change the lapel to the badge. I don't remember. I don't remember. um okay, well let me go with it. So right, Harjeet. Guy with the cut jaw and whatnot. Right. I remember now he was super cute. I kind of already did all of this. That's why I'm not starting over essentially, but okay. So I have something for you if you want it. He produces a right. So I think I figured out in this scene that the items you get do something for you. Like they give you different options of dialogue, but I couldn't figure out which ones were good or not. I don't know if they give you good dialogue. They just give you different dialogue. I found in the docs. Yeah. I think I took the Admiral's hat and I put it on. Um, Trimmed with gold. It makes a person look respectable. Okay. Wearing it gives you a commanding, if slightly curmudgeonly presence. Clothes make an impression on other people when I wear them. So I think it told me that, and I thought I was supposed to put it on for him, but maybe I'm just supposed to save it because I don't think he really like cared for it. Yeah, because it was making me a little bit gruff and commanding, but I don't know if I want that vibe for him, right? Put on the hat and consider what I'm saying. Oh, I have to do that. Thank him. So I think what I did was mutter ungraciously. Or maybe I tried on, I can't remember. I literally can't remember. And I'm not going to watch what I already did. So I'm just not because I want to. So I guess I should just choose a new thing. I'm gonna thank him this time. I didn't do that last time, I'm sure. Because I remember him giving me a bit of a snarky remark back. So that time he just said, "You're welcome." You could have gotten a penny. Yeah, he told me I could sell it. I mean, just because I put it on doesn't mean I can't sell it now. I don't think that's how secondhand clothes work, but okay. Harjeet is silent. Oh, I was talking to him. Explain that I'm working for the ministry on the census. Yeah, so I talked about the census, but then I kind of delved into his personal stuff, which was helpful. But I am supposed to be here to collect information for the census, which I immediately forgot. I require assistance with the ministry census. The truth is essential. Okay. I don't know if the census is considered truth. Quite biased, but mm. Did he do this last time? Harjeet looks out of sort. London was determined to collect everyone's name even before the fall. Yeah. Ask whether his names have. Oh yeah. Okay. I think I asked him whether his name had changed. Agree. It's a peculiarity of the English. Say the information is needed for planning. Planning what? We'll change our answer because I think I asked him about his. I went straight into like tell me that all about your life. Let's try and be a little bit more stringent with our questioning this time. The idea is to find out how many mouths need feeding. Oh my. Uh, I forgot. I did forget. I did forget. I forgot that Carla was how do I say this? Low on charisma. She's, she's I don't know what she put her points into, but she did not put them into charisma. Oh, Carla, jeez Louise. A list like that is never put to only one use. Exactly, Harjeet. Harjeet gets it. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm saying the census is evil, but I am saying that it's the census and it does collect your personal information for reasons other than we just want a count of who's in your household. Always. But never mind. You do not have to explain yourself to me. Well, I mean, I could have explained it a little bit better. like I need a place to stay and funds. It's a job. And seeing as how we're kind of like post apocalyptic, I feel like I'm doing good on having, a steady job, even though it's this. Not while I'm wearing this uniform at any rate. Oh yeah, you're also working. That's right. What What do you wish to know? Threaten Harjeet. Why would I do that? What is your problem, Carla? Carla is Carla's just giving me a lot to think about. Um, assert yourself. No, it's just simply asking the question. Chill. Do you live alone? I live alone for the moment. Okay, so that's a good way of saying I'm not available. It's fine. I recognize an invasion. Harjeet is not the kind of person who would tell me bluntly to mind my own business. Yeah, that's exactly what that was, though. Certainly. Yeah. Still, that is enough information for the purposes of the census. Exactly. Simply ask about Harjeet's romantic connections. Yeah. We'll just stick with asking questions because we already got a lot of personal information from him last time by gaining his trust. So let's try and take a different path. Are you married or otherwise connected? That's an interesting way to ask that. I have met matchmakers before, but not in London. Are all practitioners here equally unsuitable? Ooh, quite the razz, Harjeet. Parentally advise Harjeet to trust me. Appeal to the expectations of the constabulary. Stand closer to Harjeet and ask again. Carla, Carla, we need to talk. We need to have a conversation. Oh my gosh. I guess we could advise him to try. These are all bad, but we'll just advise him to trust us. This may all be very confusing. In difficult situations, even I find it hard to know whom to trust. That's a good answer. But I don't. But I won't do you any harm or swindle you or tell your secrets. I didn't say I wasn't going to tell his secrets. Don't ever promise someone you're not going to tell their secrets. Just in case the secret is one that you have to tell. Just saying. This is not a matter I would explain to most people. You and I have known each other for a long time. I think you would hear me out kindly, but if you okay, so this is him offering that information that I already had, but I will play it since I do remember what he was talking about, but I kind of don't. But now now that I've chosen different like different prompts, and now I'm like less interested in knowing his secret. Now that I'm trying to remember what the secret was, I don't know if it would be something I would like need to tell. But that's the thing about secrets. Mm, you don't know what's important until it's important. And then someone's like, if you know something, you got to tell me. And you're like, I don't want your secret. Now, now that I realize this, I don't really want your secret, but yeah, I do not like having other people's secrets, but we're gonna get one secret. Watch me by the end of this game have like everybody's secrets because I can't say no. But no, I'm making a decision. We're gonna just take Harjeet's one secret, and I will try to take it to the grave, unless it's required that I tell somebody. I can't help it. I believe I know what is expected in these situations. Ooh. I love when they get close up on him. Even before the fall, I would not have married. Oh, yeah, that's right. Now he tells me a lot about his information. My companion was not a lady. He was an officer who came to the Punjab. We became acquainted and then more than acquainted. I thought he and I would remain together throughout our lives. I followed him here, away from my own country and everything I knew, to the home of my former enemies. He promised me that it was worth the sacrifice. He said we would never separate. Mm. You will observe that he isn't here. Offered to make Harjeet's former lover sorry. Change the subject with a bit of truly morbid humor. You know what, Carla? I hate to tell you this, but you're not that funny. I think I chose one of the joke options last time, and you are not funny. Not funny. Sure. If you ever fancy a spot of revenge or vengeance, let me know. I'll take it on for you. Harjeet looks too distrusting for friendly feet gestures. I have been looking for him since the night of the fall. I walked on streets that were tearing themselves stone from stone looking for him. So just the okay, so at first you were angry. Did you guys like break up before the fall? But then of course, because you still had feelings for him, you went and like looked for him during the fall? Or did he disappear during the fall? Because those are two different things that I'm not sure the angry face makes sense for one. You know what I mean? Like if he disappeared during the fall, that makes sense. But I also get that they've been down here for like 2 years and everyone's been able to reconnect. So I think maybe he assumes he survived and he's down here and just like avoiding him. I don't know. Suggest the man may still be found. Ask whether he even still wants to be his lover. Simply drop the topic. I have seen this little rose thorn thing a couple of times, and I've never done it because it's always an anti. I'm trying to say a word, but it's always like a little bit too thorny, one might say. But I will select it this time. Do you still even want to find him? The moment I see him, I will know whether he has been waiting for me or whether his absence has been a betrayal. Okay, I see. So the second one. So he disappeared during the fall, and you actually don't know whether he is just skipping out on you or whether he is. I mean, I don't know. I hate to be morbid, but not everyone survived. Could he have just not survived? That would be actually my first guess. If you like, especially if you went out to like find him. I don't know. Living in fear is no life. For a moment, no one speaks. I look for Lucien everywhere I go. Oh, so that's the guy's name, Lucien. Change the subject with a bit of truly morbid humor. You're not funny, Carla. I'm so angry at Carla because I think she's just a kind of a crappy character. Offer some timeless wisdom. Okay. We'll offer some timeless wisdom. Let's see what this is. Time heals all wounds. Wow. Wow. That is truly original stuff. Me. Harjeet holds out a tiny photograph, the sort that might be given to a mother or sweetheart when a man goes to war. The sitter has tremendously the sitter has tremendous sideburns and mustaches, both luxuriant and curly, definite brows, a broad forehead of the kind usually associated with intellect. 1800s. Um, and a sensitivity around the eye, suggesting someone at once dashing and prone to long consideration. Sorry. Carla, wow, just giving like Sherlock levels of detail, and insight, really. Okay, so I have a high insight. Cool. It's good to know. Have nothing to do with this. Tell him truthfully that I recognize the photo. Do I? I was laughing the whole time. I didn't think to look back into my memory. I only know one person, and that's Arthur, right? One guy. Yeah, I haven't really met anybody else. Oh crap! I kind of want to go back now to see. I can I go autoplay? Fast forward. I can't rewind. What did he just? Okay, sensitive eyes, kind of dashing and prone to long consideration, and he has a mustache. It's not Arthur, right? I don't recognize that photo based on the one. Have I missed another person? I mean, there's Constance. There was Arthur, who was the Scot. I don't remember. Say nothing until I've had a chance to rack my memories. So I do recognize him, but I just don't remember. Okay, this is going in a totally different direction than I thought this was gonna go. I'm gonna, I guess, tell him that I recognize the person in the photo because apparently I do. Oh, okay, it's not Arthur. I saw him in the sunlight though. Oh, so up above before we fell. Yeah. If you remember anything more, or if you see him, please tell me. Help Harjeet find his lost beloved. Okay. Flirt with Harjeet. You know, given what we've just had a conversation about, Carla, I feel like that would be in extremely poor taste. So, why is that even an option? Oh gosh. I think that's all I kind of needed to know. I know there's like I could ask him some more stuff. Ask how the neighborhood is doing. I'm gonna draw this conversation to an end. Have a good morning. Oh yeah, I forgot we're it's like morning. Time I continued my rounds. Yeah, I have other people I need to go see. So don't do anything too dangerous out here, miss. Decide to court Harjeet. Again, poor taste, bro. Although I don't know if I have platonic intentions. It's just that he's kind of going through something, you know. I would rather work with him as a friend. Yeah, I would rather work with him as a friend, and then if things blossom. But I wouldn't put a label on it right now. I grin. You're so creepy, Carla. You're so creepy. Judging by the clock, I can afford one more errand today before supper. I thought you said good morning. How long is this cover? I mean, if it's like noon, probably. Adjust your current outfit. Let me actually see where I'm supposed to be going now. The Lotus Townhouse. A well appointed townhouse suffused with a homely glow from its tall windows, home of the Lando siblings. So I'm going somewhere where my authority might be more useful. So we'll just go with my outfit that I already have on. Oh, I don't want the freaking Admiral's hat on. Whoops. I forgot I put that on. Yeah. I want to take the Admiral. But I think, no offense, Carla, but I think the Admiral's hat is like a lot. You know, it's like a lot. So uh, let's leave that. Yeah. I think just like that being like our work uniform. Mm. Good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon. Oh, I see. So I took like hours with Harjeet, and then I'm going to take hours with her, and then it's going to be supper time. My gosh. I mean, no offense, but you've only done two people. I don't know if this should take this long, Carla. Explain that I'm working for the census. Simply state that I have questions. No, don't ever go into a conversation absolutely rude, because it's rude. The lady looks faintly mutinous. What? I'll see whether my master and mistress are at home. Well, I mean, faintly mutinous? Is that your way of saying that she's extremely unhappy? That she's a maid? 1800s. Say only that we have some common acquaintances. Okay. I actually didn't check. Oh, there it is. Okay. I haven't actually been checking. Okay. Say only that we have some common acquaintances. Okay. Gamble that the gentleman shares my sense of humor. I just met these guys, so I don't know why I would do that. Bond over shared difficulty. Um, I'll bond over shared difficulty. You must permit me to introduce myself, Carla. Time was when I would not have intruded on a stranger. It is curious how etiquette evolves when one discovers one is living in a cave. David and Rachel Lando. Rachel is my sister. What can we do for you? Explain that I'm working for the Ministry of the Census. Yeah, sure. The Ministry of Accounting and Recounting have asked me to work on the census. I see. Okay. That was a very curt response. I don't know. You don't have any insight to that, Carla? His eyes, I'm gonna say his eyes are not giving sensitivity. So use that for what you will. I'll answer your questions, Carla. Okay, she looks a little more. She looks a little sad, actually, but she looks a little bit more um, interested in what I'm gonna say. If you answer mine, okay. Call it character research. Are you having peculiar dreams down here? Uh, I don't think I'm having dreams. I remember Archie said he was having dreams, but was that a secret? I know I said I was going to take the one secret, but was Archie's dream thing a secret? Mm, refuse to discuss it. Suggest this whole thing is a peculiar dream. Probably. Honestly, that's not a bad theory. I don't think it was a secret. I think he said that in front of Constance, right? Uh, well, it didn't have secret written on it, so I'm gonna assume it was a secret. How am I supposed to know it's a secret if you don't tell me it's a secret? My housemate is a doctor. Well, almost a doctor. I don't know why you keep saying that. He is being called to see to people with strange dreams constantly. Does he report them back to you? Or better yet, does he keep a ledger? I don't think so. Occasionally he mentions something over dinner, but I believe he keeps the more personal details in confidence. Commendable. Okay. I mean, that's kind of a part of his job. You would think so. Inconvenient. All right. This is giving vibes here that I don't know what to think about this. Go ahead with your questions, Carla. Ask what she means about character research. I mean, I'm assuming it's for character. Don't be stupid, Carla. No. I don't care. Take census information about David. Simply ask about their household. Respond with protective kindness. What does that mean? Protective against who or with who? Respond condescendingly. I mean, that'd be hilarious, but why would I do that? There's nothing for you to worry about. My own household has dwindled a bit since the fall. Is yours as it was, or who lives with you? Our home contains myself, my brother, and our housekeeper. It isn't a grand establishment. We had another housekeeper for many years, but she passed away, and Phoebe, our servant, had lost her place with a neighbor of ours. Ask whether David has any romantic commitments currently. Yes. These are the questions I must ask. He doesn't. Why are you answering for him? Are we all getting the same vibe? It's weird. He doesn't have any commitments. In fact, I would go as so far as to say he is utterly without prospects. Burn, Rachel. He stays at home and reads. Relatable. I haven't been well. He warns me of spinsterhood, but he's headed very much in that direction himself. I mean, given by how old you both are, in the time in this time frame, it would kind of be, I guess, a little bit more understandable because apocalypse and whatnot. But I don't know. You two seem to want to just be free and not in that type of relationship, and I think that's fine. But I get that at the time that's not acceptable. It isn't the same thing at all. Mm, I agree. It isn't. I have my work to support myself. Wow. My sister is a famous authoress, serialized in the Lily of London, if you can believe it. But what's become of your funds since the fall? My gosh. So they're having a conversation with one another. I'm like not even in it, kind of. They're just kind of going back and forth. You'll have to marry if you don't mean to end your days a pauper, brother. I rely on you to support me in my failing years, sister. See? I think he wants to be a spinster himself, which I don't think that's. I don't know why you wouldn't call a spinster for a woman or a man or however they identify. I think it means the same thing, but I think that's what he wants. Simply ask whether David is in love. No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's interested in that type of like relationship. I think he's happy with being friends and family with his sister, and probably he would want like a companion, but not necessarily like one for a relationship, which, okay. Use the question as a chance to flirt. Ask, making it clear this is for the census. Sure. For the census, what is your romantic status? Married, betrothed, in love. Oh, not recently. I was in love once, or so I imagined. Charlotte Carrington, she and David had an understanding. She converted in any case. Becoming Christian suited her social aspirations. Rachel. Ooh. Again, you guys are kind of going back and forth. I'm just, I can imagine Carl is just kind of standing there with like a clipboard. Like, I just need an answer to the question. If y'all could keep your back and forth to like a minimum. This is taking way too long. No wonder it takes me so long to do these dang interviews. Yes, I take leave to dislike your unworthy suitors as heartily as you dislike mine. Jeez Louise. Milton is a yellow-eyed, flash-dressed, hot-handed creature. At least 2 decades too old for my sister. My gosh. Like, honestly, if you guys just needed to vent, I could have came over for like tea and we could have just sat down, but I'm working, so just answer my questions. Rumors of devils are frequent in the city. Perhaps Milton is one of them. Ouch. I hardly think he and Charlotte are comparable. Anyways, if we could move on, simply ask whether Rachel is in love. Sure. That's the question I gotta ask. Are you married, in love? No. At least that isn't what I'd call it. Just as well, too. In the times before, you would never have darkened the door of such a person. Before you cast me as the intolerable brother, Carla, you should know you should know what we're speaking of. Milton smokes rose-scented cigars. Okay. Is that supposed to mean something? Hint for more information. Yeah. What is that? That must matter because it's the 1800s. I believe this is 1800s, not the 1900s, like early. I believe this is 18 something from what I remember. Oh dear, the rules of polite society have broken somewhat in the fall, haven't they? Nothing of the sort. He's a devil, or rather, he belongs to a group using that name. Oh. Milton is an artistic inspiration. If you are not a writer yourself, Carla, you cannot guess how much the fall has disrupted our sort of work. I understand that. Characters have certain tastes, certain preferences, certain prejudices. Sure. Where are we going with this? I didn't like that last. All I need to do is imagine them in new circumstances and their reactions write themselves. But now we've all been at least a little bit cracked by the fall. Interesting. How does anyone behave? Who can say? You always said you wrote from observation. You can still observe. Since the fall, there's a pattern in what I see. Okay, so she's noticed something interesting. It is only home that makes sense to me. I cannot make my whole novel about a brother and sister lighting candles at Shabbat. Ask why not out of curiosity. Suggest that this is a point at which her heart must truly develop. Wow. I'm like fully in these people's lives right now. I came here to take a census and this turned into a whole thing. I don't know if I want to be in this. This right here, unlike Harjeet and even unlike Arthur, those were kind of like contained. I was like, okay, well, I can wiggle those out. These two, this is messy. I feel like this is messy. I don't think I want to be into that, but I am curious about um like all of the stuff that she does because it seems that they seem to have some secrets. My publisher wouldn't tolerate it. The Lily of London wouldn't print it. The rest of the world would come into it somehow. Milton helps me sort the rest of the world. Somebody would read it. There's a reading audience out there for everybody. He can make sense of anything, even if a countess running down the street in her peignoir. It's easy to understand a misbehaving viscountess. Everything else is stranger. Let me say, Carla, Milton quotes poetry instead of making conversation. What is happening? I feel like there's like quite a several digs he's made at this guy Milton being kind of like a really old and pretentious jackass essentially, but that she's like really into. And I say that like if he isn't, highly manipulative or has some other unsavory habits that are clearly very dangerous for her, you kind of have to let her make her own mistakes. So Rachel says, he helps me. Take Rachel and Milton's side. No, 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 no. No, no, no. We're not taking any sides. I'm like literally Carla is standing there looking at her watch. Like, I don't have time for this. Let's get back to the census. Simply ask about their housekeeper. Yeah. Who is your housekeeper then? She's called Phoebe. She has been with us for years. She's an Irish woman, Catholic in a quiet way, but no relatives in London. My mother offered her a position as a kindness when she was destitute. And her surname? Phoebe Riley. Oh, yes, of course. That's it. Pray don't tell her I had briefly forgotten. How mortifying. It would make no difference. She is not under any illusion that you are interested in her family. Rude. Let them continue arguing a moment. Not really. To be honest, I'm kind of over these two. I feel like they are just they're the type of people who argue in secret, sure, but argue most when they're in front of other people because they want you to take a side. They want someone to validate what they're saying. And that's not fun. This is not a good time for me. I don't want to do this. I suppose you, of course, have learned her life story. I talked to her for like 5 seconds. Oh, you're talking to David. Right. They're not talking to me anymore. I'm not even here. Her father was a oh, he did. Her father was a hedge scholar, passing from village to village, secretly teaching students things the English had forbidden. Forbidden? What sorts of things? Greek, Latin, and a bit of Irish history. At least that's how I reconstructed from Phoebe's description. Wow. That sentence there was a whole message about cultural erasure. Her father traveled and her mother didn't have much money, but he did leave her the name as an illusion. I'm surprised she told you so much. She doesn't talk to me about that part of her life. Well, I was going to say something and then I didn't, but I think we can all guess what I was going to say. Perhaps she fears it would appear in a novelized form. That's not what I was thinking, but okay. You two are not really likable. Like you're not likable as people from what I'm getting, mainly because of the way you treat each other, but turn the subject to his life and business. Do I have to? draw this conversation to an end. To be honest, you two are exhausting. Bye. Yeah, I wish you guys a good afternoon. I'm done. We must be going. We're already late. Everything is always running too slowly. And yet every day is the same. We've set loose one or two ideas, for which I certainly owe you something. Oh, I had something I meant to give you. Do I get a gift from every person? It's a tiny thing, really, but convenient, I find. Do you know the way to Hogslane Market? Absolutely not. I used to. Since the fall, no. Perfect. Allow me. Oh, you're going to give me a new. She fishes in her bag and takes out a piece of very thin paper. It looks like nothing, but but it's got the route you see and directions for how to turn the difficult corners. If any constables notice and give you difficulty on the matter of maps, just swallow it. Oh, right. Because this morning maps were. Oh, interesting. I think this is kind of telling me something. I mean, obviously, when maps are destroyed, it clearly means something. But in this case, it looks like it's just to not get to certain places, clearly. I mean, obviously, if you like have some memory and you just, want to explore, you can find places. But I feel like that's the purpose of getting rid of the maps, is so that you can't like get there easily. I've made a few of these for friends. Rachel. How very interesting that she felt so comfortable giving that to me. Or even telling me that she makes those. Look after yourself, Carla. Rachel, we did not connect. This whole time I have not been liking either of you. I'm so confused about this transaction right now. So confused. Decide to court Rachel. My opinions remains to be seen. Um, I mean, she clearly had a connection with me, so there's something going on one-sided. But I don't know. I still think your two relationship is something. I don't think it's like, too strange and unusual, but I do think it's something. I don't know what it is. My opinion remains to be the seen, and I'll say that. I shake my head to clear it. The ruminations are all gone. All as it was. It's getting late, so I'm heading back home. That was a long. Change my clothes before dinner. Yeah, sure. I'll change my clothes. That was a long interview. My gosh. I mean for dinner I'm just gonna I'm gonna basically get out of my work clothes, I think. Just be cash, Be super cash. Hmm. Grizz is waiting for me. I am gonna take like a second here to re-up on my coffee, and then we will be right back. So I'll be right back. All right. Okay, so Grizz is waiting for me. Let's see what she wants. Is her name Constance? I've been calling her Constance, but is her name Constance or is her name Grizz? Is that her last name? We're not gonna worry about it. I really only remember one person, and because they're the most important at this moment, which is Harjeet. So everybody else's name is inconsequential. Whatever census forms you already have, it is time to take them to Mr. Pages. Say that I'm ready. I was supposed to get 2, right? Oh. Ask if we couldn't have supper instead. No, it's fine. We can go. I'm prepared, I think. I certainly hope that's true. Come with me. What does that mean? That sounded so ominous. Once I've shown you how to reach the ministry, you can come back on your own and turn in others. Yeah. Yeah. There's no maps. So you have to just be shown how to get places, and then you essentially have to remember how to get there. With luck, Mr. Pages will decide to keep you on. As long as I'm getting paid. With that, she leads me outside and down a street that is no longer named. Oh yeah, that's right. I feel like the very first um department they should have created was like a restructuring department that would like go through and make sure that like things that people were pretty used to, like street signs and you know, like waterways and things like that, were all like focused on getting reconstructed. Um, but it seems that instead they focused on the Ministry of Counting and Recounting. Okay. The way runs through new streets makes made of old material. Oh, I see. Medieval timber, Tudor brick. A decade of Doric pilasters stolen from Landon Hall Street. The doors boarded up and the windows gaping darkly overhead. It's all broken loose in its history, a folly in the hedge maze of the bazaar. All right, Carla, relax. Jeez Louise. Finally, we find ourselves standing in its shadow, under its walls. What is this? Before us is a low door that once, I think, belonged to a solicitor's office. This doesn't look. This isn't giving me any type of architecture I would think would be in London. Grizz takes out a key made of something other than metal and unlocks the door. What does that mean? How do you know that? I mean, apparently I have good insight, but how do I know it's not metal? Mind the pile of papers. I've already sorted them 3 times. Okay. Mr. Pages is very particular about the ordering of documents. All right. Now, where has he gone? Usually he's here by this time of day. I'm sorry, what? Ah, there you are, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? um, we were just coming to bring you the census documents. We're on the same page here, Grizz. We're both seeing the same thing. And we're good with this. We're fine with this. A first installment of many, I'm sure. Okay. All right. We're just ignoring this. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, Grizz. Honestly, Grizz, this is not making any sense. what is happening right now? Why I would just be standing there staring at this clearly non-human being wrapped in this huge, I don't know, it's like some sort of like an ornate shawl slash hood, giving cult vibes with a really beautiful brooch, but still, we're just gonna pretend that we're gonna be okay with this. She's just looking at me like, anyway, so you have the documents? And I'm just here like, Grizz. There is a tone in her voice, somewhere between fondness and a nanny guiding an untutored child. Ignore the mood between them. Don't. Carla, I don't think the mood is really what I am most alarmed about here. You know? But I don't know how normal this is. To me, this would be extremely abnormal, but I guess maybe this is normal? Okay. Mr. Pages, may I present Carla? Carla, this is Mr. Pages. The whole Ministry of Accounting and Recounting is under Mr. Page's direction. Acknowledge the introduction, express gratitude for the job, stay well back, and make no sudden moves. Right? That's what I would do. I mean, if this was like real, obviously I would be really confused and probably terrified. But I think because Grizz is like pretending that this is normal, that probably I would start to also act like it's normal as much as I could. How do you do, Mr. Pages, sir, or ma'am, or monster? To be honest, fertilius, that's not a word. With a soupçon of Meritalance? Mr. Pages has a surprisingly high voice for someone so large. I beg your pardon? Mr. Pages has been interviewing a French man unhappily stranded on our shores before the fall. You can imagine how that might affect both mind and vocabulary. Not really. No. No. Nope. I literally could not imagine how that would affect both mind and vocabulary. I no. What are we saying? Agree that must have been challenging for Mr. Pages. What is this nightmare fuel that I am engaging in right now? What's going on? Wonder whether it was challenging for the Frenchman. Do a dig. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he talks like that all the time. I would assume so. But request a translation. Yeah, I don't know what he just said. I'm afraid I don't quite follow. Griselda. Oh, that makes sense. Her name's Griselda. Pray transposition our meaning for the benefit of our linguine adequate friend. It hurts my brain to try and say what he's saying out loud. It's so difficult. Wherever you deem it to be confused. I would like you to stop talking because even just reading your words is painful. The recognition of such scent cues, continues alidicious. Ah, yes, I'd be happy to. Okay. You're telling me you understood that. Okay. Carla, you'll get used to Mr. Page's way of expression in time. Is that what we're calling this? This non-English? Okay. Interesting. What have you brought us? Hand over a finished census page about Archie. Oh, I forgot I did Archie. Oh, okay. So I actually did 4. Okay. This was actually a pretty big day. We'll do Archie first because that was the first person I did. I actually got mad. I actually got mad reading that. We're skipping you, Mr. Pages. We're skipping you. It's fine. What time is it? It is 7:37, everybody. The premiere of episode 2 is gonna happen in like a couple of minutes. So I'm actually gonna try to get to a stopping point so that I can hop off by the time that goes. I will put the premiere info up at this point for you all to go over and watch the second episode while I continue to torture myself by reading this clearly non-human dialogue. So I guess I'll just do that. But yeah, it's over at the Agent Journey podcast YouTube channel as well as the Agent Journey podcast Acast link. You can listen to it just the audio only. And then you can also listen to it on Spotify, iHeartMusic, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts, I believe, are the other places you can do. And you can just search Agent Journey podcast. So that's happening literally in like 20 minutes. So it's gonna be exciting. Okay. I guess that was the break. I guess I need to go back to this. Okay. let me just get myself together here to read more of this nonsense. It gives me a shiny penny for my trouble. I forgot we were in the 1800s because when they said penny, I literally was like, what? But okay, right. It's newly minted and has a portrait on the back of someone who is certainly not the queen. The face on the back of the coin stares at me until the hair prickles of my neck. We're being taken over by Cthulhu monsters. Is that what this is all about? Because that's definitely what this looks like. It reminds me of a debt owed, and I don't want to remember. My breath hitches and slows and resumes. Ooh. Yeah, I would throw that coin out, man. Provide pages with 7 forums. We did not expect much from Archie. No. Undercon Grizz? That's quite a title. Already elevated that he is a lightless character. Jeez. What else is there? Hand over a finished page. Okay, we'll do Rachel, we'll do David, we'll do Hardy. We'll just do them all. Pages offers me 2 pennies from a jar, bringing my stash to 3. Can I use these? Is this actual money? There are other coins in there and a few things that aren't even coins. I want to see that jar. Buttons, pearls, probably false. A horse head carved from... Oh. Not a real horse head, obviously. That would be insane. But it's just one carved from ivory, or maybe bone. That's in a jar of coins and buttons and pearls, which is much more sane. The quality of your information impresses us at this time. Thanks. It looks through the sheets of the form in its usual way. It doesn't find much to interest it in the account of Rachel's romantic life. It is much more intrigued by her employment. She invents love stories from nothing. There are any number of novels printed every year in London. The price of paper was recently reduced. These stories we will acquire. If they are suitable, then we will also acquire the authoress. What? I'll just acknowledge it. Oh, of course. What am I doing? Now I feel nervous about Harjeet's information. You are new to the Neath. Do you have anything more? Mr. Pages takes the census page eagerly and spends some time scanning it. There is something it is looking for, something it keeps looking for that it cannot find. It seems he cares for his sister more than any other. I also noticed that. Nonetheless, his affections are prolific. I also noticed that. There's some promise in that. Do you have anything more? Now I kind of wish I hadn't gotten all that information from Harjeet. I don't want Mr. Pages to know about that, but I don't see another option. Shite. Yeah, so he pays me 2 pennies. Then he puts the census page in the stack of the others much like it. It weighs the sack down with a paperweight. If I look too hard at the paperweight, my eyes sting. Jesus. Can we say that the story is finished? Okay, so he didn't, while the lover has returned, another chapter is imaginable. The business of the census is done for now. Okay, so he didn't even read his. Maybe it's because I did it last. That actually made me quite nervous because I don't know why, but I assumed even though they're asking really personal questions, I did assume that it was for administrative reasons, not for acquiring people reasons. But now that I see Mr. Pages and this weird interaction, and now that I know that he wants to acquire something that has to do with love, maybe stories of love, maybe people who can idealize love, which I'm not sure what that's about. Now I'm gonna be a little bit more careful about the information I ask people. The business of the census is done. Perhaps I've earned a question. Oh, I can ask him a question, or it, or them. However, they identify. No pronouns, I've noticed. So, we'll just go with they. Ask why maps needed to be outlawed. I think I know why maps needed to be outlawed, but I'll ask anyway. Why aren't we allowed to use maps and atlases anymore? We need them more than ever. London isn't arranged where it used to be. I believe the ministry intends to resurvey the territory. In the meantime, it wouldn't do, to have people using fallacious maps. The territory of the Neath is anti-disposificated towards lying still. And what is that supposed to mean? Yeah. What? I beg your pardon. Oh my gosh, you look right at me. I suppose it must be a reference to the seismic activity. Perhaps there's a concern that further events will disturb the arrangement of London's streets. And, now I think on it, in those circumstances, the existence of inaccurate maps might cause alarm. I mean, that makes no sense. Like, I got the first part of like, well, we could still be getting disturbances from seismic activity or like post seismic activity. And so it might be dangerous to try to like use the maps to go to places you thought were going to be safe and like level. And then something happens and, you fall in a sinkhole or something. That makes sense. Then you would most likely do like an advisory of like don't use the maps to like go out and like do what you would normally do or try to find places on the maps that currently exist because we don't know how safe those areas are, and then just let everybody know that they're going to do a scan of the area to make new maps. I don't know why you would have to be like burn and destroy all maps and don't ask questions. Those are two different things. One is clearly suspicious. The other one is just the city doing its job. And now that I think on it, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. Perhaps better not to create in the population an expectation of consistent layout. Okay. Wow. Look at the time. I have to. Being Carla in this moment, I would literally be like backing out towards the door. Like, well, it is getting late, so I should head out. Thank you for the pennies I hope I can use to like buy food with. That is enough of my official duties for the moment. I would quit this job, 100%. Grizz accompanies me out when it is time to go. She makes a couple of remarks about how useful this will be, though she stops short of asking whether I'm in debt to Haratia. I don't actually know how to say her name. I haven't forgotten though. Pay Horatia half my rent back. Yeah, I do have bills, I do got people to pay. As we make our way back to, I'm going to say this is Horatia, just spelled this way. To Horatia's, Grizz asks me what I think of Mr. Pages. Are you joking? She tries to make it sound like an idly curious question. Okay, so that confers it. This is not normal. Thank her for arranging this post. Make light of Mr. Page's tailoring challenges. When did I get funny all of a sudden? Like, Carla, you have been like very unfunny up until this point, but now you're coming with the zingers. But unfortunately, we're not making fun of Mr. Pages. We're not making fun of 13-foot, clearly benches 400 pounds, Mr. Pages. Have you lost your mind? Do you see his eyes? He can literally break you in half. Oh my gosh. Carla, read the room. Yeah, I'm dodging the question. I make some remark about how it's difficult to form an accurate impression on first meeting. Yes, that's good. She lets that stand, thank goodness. Before we go back inside the house, she reminds me we have many more people in the neighborhood to survey for the census. You know how it's done? Now you can collect them and take them to Mr. Pages yourself. By myself? Couldn't we have like a mailbox situation where I just like put it in an envelope and then push the envelope through the Do I have to meet him every time and talk to him every time? I have other duties and I may not always be there. But Pages is, well, I am certain you won't be harmed if you visit the ministry on your own. Okay. Decide and confess that I have a flirtatious interest in Mr. Pages? Listen, you know, everyone, you know, people are there's a lot of things that people are into, you know. But I don't think at this moment that I have that type of intention for Mr. Pages. So draw a gloomy conclusion is not joke that her reassurance is not completely reassuring. I mean, it's not really. We can joke about that, sure. I don't want to go too dark, just in case. No one ever says this kitten won't harm you. It's only dangerous things that we're told are safe. Carla. Okay. That's actually a very good line. That's exactly right. Oh, she didn't like that though. There's a difference between things that can't do harm and those that won't. First of all, kittens and cats have crazy nails. They can scratch you up so bad. So I don't know if I would say they can't do harm. The latter are the more truly trustworthy. What? Oh, you're saying that if they make the choice not to harm you, they're more trustworthy? I mean, they could choose not to harm you in that moment. Doesn't necessarily mean that you are forever absconded from harm. That's the problem with having choice at every moment. So your logic, Grizz, worries me. It worries me. But I think I'm done with that. Grizz, you need to talk to someone, not me, because I honestly would like less interactions with you, honestly. But you need to talk to somebody. Archie finds. Oh, so I've had dinner. I didn't even sit down. Jeez Louise. Archie finds me upstairs after dinner. Okay, I only have 5 minutes, I think, at this point before the premiere comes up, and I don't want to get started with a new chapter or whatever after I just finished that conversation with Grizz. So I think I am going to stop here. Can I think it's just an automatic save. I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, so I think I'm going to stop here for today. That was Mask of the Rose. This game is getting really weird. Weird in a way that I didn't really expect. Hilarious or creepy quote of the game so far. Name a player. Yeah, this is stranger than I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew it was going to be creepy and weird and fun, but this is. I didn't expect, number one, Carla to be so bad at speaking. Again, low charisma, but high insight. I also didn't expect Mr. Pages. I mean, I knew clearly that was a made up name and he was a part of like an administration, and there's already some shady stuff happening. And Archie's like really, really into the Ministry of Cartography for some reason. But this is interesting. It's making me think more about the type of conversations I have with people now, because before I was like, this is fun. I'm just gonna like ask a bunch of questions and maybe I want to know more information. But now that I realize that Mr. Pages is definitely a human eating monster, I think we can all be on the same page there about that. I don't really want him to know information, even about the people I don't really care about, because I don't really like Rachel and her brother. But I don't want them to be, what did he say? Acquired? I don't even know what that means. I don't know. That's weird. And then Grizz is all types of suspicious now. So crap. Yeah, that really makes me think. But anyway, that is going to be it for me today. You guys, hopefully, you guys enjoy the second episode premiere, which is going on in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to watch that over on my on the Aging Journey podcast channel, to just make sure that's going well, and then I will go about my day. So I hope you all I hope you all enjoy your day as well. I will see you guys next time. Bye.